Hey mamas, it's Lyssah with Mama Wears Many Hats, and today we are talking week 7 of my plus size geriatric pregnancy. Hey guys, it's Lyssah and welcome to Mama Wears Many Hats, where we talk all things motherhood, even the hard and crappy stuff. We are now entering and embarking to the first video of documenting my fourth, and count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth plus size pregnancy. First one that is putting me into the advanced maternal age geriatric pregnancy category. I'm going to be documenting every week, giving you an update video, kind of talking about how maybe my pregnancies are different one from the other, if I can remember anything that's substantially different. I'm going to be showing you guys a little bit of belly growth and whatnot, because if there's one thing that I do kind of regret, and for any of you guys who are first-time moms, second-time moms, any of that, I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have better documented how my babies were growing in the womb, just for my sake, because after a while it just all blurs together and it's hard to remember, okay, what baby was that? I don't remember. Especially, I guess, with this one, since it's number 4, kind of a surprise. I want to remember it. I want to know. I want to look back with my baby and let him know, like, hey, this is how you came into the world. One of the reasons I wasn't big on like the belly pics is because when you're already plus size, it's kind of like, what's the point of taking a belly pic? Because no one can really see the baby for a long time. It's like you stop looking fat and start looking pregnant fat. Maybe like 28 weeks, 30 weeks. Yeah, but I will say this. When you are plus size pregnant with like later pregnancies, like 2nd, 3rd, 4th, you look pregnant even before you should look pregnant, just because you probably look pregnant. That's how fat accumulates on your body. Sorry, I did not mean, this is not in any way meant to be fat shaming, y'all. I am owning my body. I am owning this pregnancy. I'm super excited about it. So that being said, I believe, according to my app, based on all that, you know, baby voodoo, like last period and blah, 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 I am 7 weeks and 3 or 4 days. This pregnancy is a little different so far because with my first 3 pregnancies, I was already in the throes of morning sickness, like vomiting all times of the day. I never was diagnosed with HG, but especially my last 2 pregnancies, I was just shy of like, I never quite got to that level of where they hooked me up to IVs, but my doctor did warn me that that was probably coming down the road. And thankfully, once I started taking Diclegis, that didn't stop the morning sickness, but it made it where I could semi-function in life and I wasn't getting dehydrated anymore. And please know, I know that those who suffer from HG, drugs don't work. Like, I totally get that as a different experience and my heart goes out to you. Let me know in the comments if dealing with HG is something that you've walked through. And if you are a YouTuber or you have videos about that, that would be a great resource for any moms that might be walking through that. Please feel free to drop them in the comments below as well. I really, really, really want this documentation process to be something that supports moms and helps them know that they're not alone and know that there are others who they can learn from and lean on. And if nothing else happens from this, but like one mom knows she's not in the vacuum by herself, it's time well spent. So that's my little plug. If you've, sorry, this is literally my camera because I just like was like, I have to do this or it's not gonna get done. It is balanced on a set of plates and a salt crock and a banana. I will take a picture and put it here so you can see what my makeshift tripod is right now. Mostly because, and I'm sorry if I'm doing this probably like not even thinking, y'all know when your underwire starts to poke out. It's doing that and that hurts. Wow, apparently this pregnancy I'm whiny. That's not to say that I don't feel queasiness, but to me there is a notable difference between feeling queasiness and being in the position where I'm throwing up multiple times a day and barely able to function. And can I just stop and say, thank you, Lord? And I'm not even saying that tongue in cheek. I am sincerely offering praise to my Lord and Creator, because I don't know that I could do the morning sickness I did with my first 3 while having 3. So words cannot express the gratitude that I feel about not really having any morning sickness. I have been feeling queasy, but thankfully it's also mostly at night, which sucks because that's when I do a lot of my like, you know, VA stuff or reselling stuff, my projects, that kind of stuff. Me stuff is normally at night. But again, it's like I'm able to sit here and record right now, even though I feel mildly queasy. And with my previous pregnancies, that would not have even been remotely possible. So yay, winning with pregnancy number 4. That being said, have fatigue, but not as much fatigue as I would have expected. But I have had some days where I just like pass out. Like I'm laying in bed and 5 minutes later, I'm like, well, 5 minutes later, I realized it's actually like 3 hours later and I fell asleep. So yeah, that's been nice. Craving water, like always. The smell of broccoli, can't stand it. I was like that with all my other kids too. This baby is leaning more towards the liking savory things. Normally I have a fairly sweet tooth. Plus size is not. It's not unexplainable, guys. It's not. But with this baby, I'm not digging sweets as much. I'm not caring for them as much or able to eat them as much, which I will take. That's a win for sure. All right, an additional thing that I am noticing, or a symptom that I dealt with in previous pregnancies that I'm actually surprised is happening now, because historically it's happened more around the 6-month mark. So, or 5 or 6 month mark. So for it to be happening now, I'm like, oh dear God, please do not let me have to deal with this my entire pregnancy or I might go crazy. Right now, you can see a small spot here, all right? And thankfully it's pretty small, but pull off the arm. Look at those guns. You can see, I'm trying to find, there we go. I have this rash and I've had it again all my previous pregnancies. With Caden, I think it was even later. I think it was like later, 6 months, 7 months. With Evie, it happened a little earlier, and Milo's around the same time. At first I thought it was PUPS, which I will link to some information below kind of talking about what that is. I talked with my doctor and he didn't think that's what it was because of how early it was happening. And he's like, well, sometimes our bodies just respond differently to different things, and pregnancy can make your body trip out. So then I thought it was potentially a response to heat or stress, because with both Milo and Evie, they happened around stressful times. Like it happened right after like a triggering stress kind of thing. But you know, there's what we were speculating. Itches like crazy. Yeah, so every week you'll get to see how bad does the rash look. And I'm sorry, I know that's gross. Maybe I should be like, trigger warning, itchy rash. But what's funny is I was like, oh my gosh, how is this showing up? I'm only, because it started last week when I was still only 6 weeks. I was like, how is this already showing up? This shouldn't be showing up at 6 weeks. What the heck? Obviously consulted Dr. Google. And apparently since my last pregnancy, there has been a study that's come out, and I fully intend to talk to my OB about this next week when I go in. Apparently there are some people who have an autoimmune disease that is triggered by progesterone, which is a key building block in pregnancy. High progesterone levels can trigger these kind of rashes. And I was like, oh, that would make sense. This always happens when I'm pregnant. So I'm gonna talk to my doctor about that. I think there's a way that they can do like a skin test and see if that's what it is. But apparently there's only been like 200 documented cases of this autoimmune disorder of people being allergic to progesterone. So anyway, that's just my personal professional diagnosis right now based on consulting Dr. Google and figuring that out. But I will update you on that and you'll be able to see how my lovely nasty rash does. If you all are prayer people, please pray for me, because this is seriously like second only to the morning sickness, the most miserable thing in my pregnancy, because it itches. It is horrible. Like I would not wish this on my worst enemy. Like you could cut me off. Heck, you might even be able to like kidnap one of my kids and I wouldn't, well, I'd like to think I wouldn't wish it on you because it's just horrible. So yeah, and hopefully this stays pretty small again until we are telling people, because like family who knows me knows that pops up during pregnancy. So yeah, that's where that is. So that is that. One of the things I want to include are, I think I'm going to be breaking these up on my weekly updates. We're going to talk about symptoms, and then I'm going to set this up right now. I think the next thing we're going to talk about is how I'm doing on my pregnancy goals, because one thing I've learned when you're pregnant, especially when you already have children, you have to be intentional with what you want to accomplish. And one of the things that I believe is fully possible, and I've done previously-ish, is to have a healthy plus size pregnancy. But I know right now, the fact that I have 3 children and I have such a busy life going on, I cannot afford to let myself go in any way with this pregnancy. And again, being of advanced maternal age, I know that I need to keep myself physically strong. So I am going to be starting to do some daily exercises to prepare my body, making sure I'm getting my squats in, making sure that I'm doing all those prenatally kind of exercises that they give you. I took a Bradley course, and I'll see if I can link some videos below about that. I am also, I think, going to start doing some prenatal yoga, which I'm excited about. Because I want to make sure my body is strong and able to endure whatever kind of delivery I might have. My first 2 deliveries were great. They were under 13 hours, literally from like first sign of anything to baby in your arms. My 3rd child, my water broke, and 36 hours later I had Milo. I will link birth stories up there and you can see. But one of the things that was so hard with Milo was eventually I was given Pitocin, and I was not prepared to be as tired as I was under the strain and pain that I was for as long as I was. And I ended up having an epidural, which there's nothing wrong with that. Mad respect, especially FYI. If you've had Pitocin of any kind and you managed to deliver without an epidural, you are seriously my hero, because you must have like supernatural pain threshold. I had 2 natural unmedicated deliveries, and oh my gosh, Pitocin's no joke. Anyway, that's not to scare anyone. It's totally possible. FYI, epidurals are amazing for that. But I say that to say I really want to set myself up to be as strong as possible going into labor with my 4th, and then managing, because being pregnant is kind of like getting married. We spend all this time getting ready for a day, and then after that day, you still have to deal with everything. That's it. I want to be as physically healthy as possible. So one of my goals definitely is some kind of daily exercise, whether that's walking, whether that is prenatal yoga, and then doing just some of my general exercises like squats and things to build up specific muscles that are beneficial during labor. That is my goal. I'm going to update you guys each week to let you know how that's going. Another one of my goals is I do not want to gain a ridiculous amount of weight. I want to gain a healthy amount of weight, but I don't want to, again, just kind of be like, oh, I'm pregnant. Oh, I'm so tired. Oh, just all the things. My intention here, week 7, I'm totally planning to flex and flow, but this is just my plan, is to eat healthy, not to be restrictive in any way, but to eat the things, again, that will nourish my bodies. My bodies, I have 2 bodies, my body and baby body. And this will be equally important, because one thing I'm doing that's different in this pregnancy is I am not taking prenatals. Yes. Okay, and here's where I'm gonna put the disclaimer in this video. Not a doctor. You do you. You talk with your medical providers and make the decisions that are best for you. I believe that part of the reason that I've had such bad morning sickness with my previous pregnancies is actually taking the prenatals. With this one, I took prenatals one day and I felt like I was gonna die. Now, I will say this, we also had a stomach bug going around the house, and it could have been that, but I find it very interesting that I didn't feel like that, except when I took the medicine. Anyway, so I'm actually gonna be doing a series, and I'm really excited about this, where I'm going to break down the kind of things that you can be eating to get the same nutrients in your daily diet as you would from a prenatal. Because like one of the things they talk about you needing a lot of because of cell development is folate or folic acid. I did some research, and oh my gosh, it is not even hard to get that level of folic acid or folate in your diet, as long as you were making sure that you've got the right things included in there. And honestly, there's stuff that I like, so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna do a whole series all about here's what you can eat in a day and get the nutrients you and baby need. If you think that might be interesting, or you like the idea of that, go ahead and give this video a like. Let me know in the comments, hey, I wanna hear more. And because I haven't said it yet, because I kind of forget that I'm supposed to say this kind of stuff. Hey, if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe, give this video a like, hit the notification so that you are notified when I have new videos, if you care about this new little fry. All right, so that's that. I'm gonna do the belly shot And again, remember, this is a plus size pregnancy, so it's a belly, okay? Y'all, it's a belly. And I'm only 7 weeks, and you can totally let me know in the comments, like, you look like you're 20 weeks. Because I do, I look like I'm 20 weeks. All right, so, sorry for the boob shot. That has nothing to do with babies. That is just me, okay? So, all right, here we go. I'm gonna go to the side, right? If I pull it in a little bit, belly's there. Definitely there. Hence, baggy clothes are gonna be my friend until I officially tell people. So there you go. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If you are documenting your journey, please let me know in the comments. Drop your video, drop your channels. Everyone go check them out. Let's support one another in this. And let me know, how far along are you? Where are you at in your journey? Is it a plus size pregnancy? Is it a geriatric pregnancy? Is it all of the above? I wanna know, all right? Namaste, y'all. And remember, if you are the only person who stumbles upon this video, it is well worth it. You got this, mama. Bye.